Does Ivan go over? Who's Ivan?
Ivan on tech. I said yes to crypto is waiting for us. Ivan's stream must be done. I almost pulled that cast, and I should have. Yes to crypto, is once again like consistently trying to get something accomplished, and in this case, it is tagging Ivan on tech on Farcaster every day.
Right. Yeah.
Or every stream, whatever you post to try and get them to come over, which I love. Yeah, so we've got a pretty, chill show today. No guest, but we've got, a lot of stuff to talk about. Surprisingly, since some people are not talking at all. So that's what we're going to talk about, is the not talking. Plus, people are still building things. Amazingly, even though Farcaster's dead, it's weird. It's almost it's almost as if it's not. So anyway, if you're over on Twitter, give this a retweet. If you are watching in any place else, go cast about it. Jump in our mini app and share that you're watching. And we will be back. Oh, yeah, let me just make a note on that. Yeah, I should be numbering it. Yeah, you should, because I don't know how many times you've done it, but I've been seeing it a lot. So I'd love to see the numbering. So we'll be back on the other side of this outdated 40 seconds. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Nanish Prof and Adrian, for another episode of GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster. It is Friday, January 16th, and you are here with Nanish, Prof, and Adrian for, I don't know, hourish. I would say 29 minutes, but we know that's not going to happen. Of Farcaster and Base App news. We do have a lot to actually talk about today. So there's a lot happening. Gossip Hour, I just saw your cast come.
I'm leaning into it. I established on Wednesday I hate gossip, but then I figured might as well lean into it because everybody else loves it.
Maybe it'll get
people to show up. So I told everyone Gossip Hour is live.
Okay, and I am gonna hold on. I gotta retweet the one that's running on mine, and I am gonna use that same approach, and let's see what happens. Let's see if this is what does it. We may have to just say GM Gossip Hour. Maybe that's our next play if things go awry. Just kidding. Okay, hold on. Let's see how this goes. Gossip Hour is now live. Let's see what happens, because we're not streaming to our really big accounts today. We have a couple that we stream to when they are when we have interviews with certain people that are either Clanker related or when we're doing a Clankcaster spotlight. So when we're on our smaller channels, we need a little bit of help with the reach. So let's see what happens. All right. Ooh, yes. Far coding, vibe coding with Farcaster Social Graph. I like that name. That's a good idea. And GM Aqueous. All right. Let's dive in. We do have a few things to chat about. And let's start here. Keep calm and carry on. So one of the biggest things I've noticed in the past 3 days is that nobody's commented on all the speculation. And by nobody, I mean the people who actually know stuff. So that says to me that we're not going to hear anything for a while, and we just need to chill out and carry on, because we don't know anything about what's really happening. All we know is a bunch of speculation. So I think you said when we were in our chat, like, we just have to keep calm and carry on. And I went, oh, BRB. Like, oh, okay. Good point.
Calm and carry on.
Yeah.
We're on a
Yeah.
need to know basis, and
Yeah.
we don't
And
need to know anything.
we don't need to know right now. So everybody just chill. Because a lot of you are very unchill. So it's time to
Um,
chill.
and yet also it's it's funny to see people react on the timeline. So
Absolutely.
I know we're telling you all to calm down, but maybe not all of you.
Not all be.
Oxen's
Some of you are
allowed.
pretty amusing.
Oxen and Dewoofi are still allowed to cast. Everyone else, calm down.
Yeah. And on that point, hold on, let me find that one. I'll jump ahead a little bit. We should buy Farcaster.
Classic.
Doofy, why don't you do some, I think it's a great idea. Do some due diligence, come back with a number. I'm guessing that number is somewhere in the over $1 billion.
And what
If
is
we're
the
going
purple
on pure
treasury?
valuation.
What's the purple treasury right now?
Not $1 billion.
Okay.
Definitely not $1 billion. I think it's somewhere in the ballpark of 9-ish ETH. Yeah, not enough. So you're gonna have to work on that. So get working on that. We don't know. We literally don't know.
What are you even talking about? Like, you start the show telling everyone to calm down. What are we even talking about? People are
Yeah.
just like the
Oh, you
the
wanted
feed
us to set this up? Okay.
There's no setup. You know, some
Yeah.
people just join for news. Everyone's on the timeline speculating about rumors that Farcaster is dead, dying, being acquired.
Yes. Yes.
And
it's being fueled a lot by the fact that Dan and B, first of all, went totally dead silent post during the holidays. So, just thought they were doing their thing. But then the new year kicked over and they were still really quiet, and they're still really quiet. So we're just a lot of speculation about what's happening. And then we're going to get to the base news in just a bit. So those things combined are sending some people into a little bit of a tizzy. I'm seeing a lot of crash outs. So, all right, moving on. Here we go. We do have some other news, but not really. We're going to continue on in this vein for a little bit. This was from Rish. Everyone predicting doom. Please see this doc I wrote a while back. I think it's a very important doc. The doc just says, please stop. I will say it did have a very interesting recaster as well. And that recaster was Dan Romero. So he didn't comment on it. He didn't quote cast it, but I did see the little recast. So I'm going to take that as a hint. And we'll stop.
It was giving, it was giving this energy.
Mama's had enough.
100%. 100%.
Please stop. This is
again.
In case you didn't hear it the first time.
Yes. One more time.
Mama's had enough.
Mama's had enough. So
see, yeah, when you're in your social network, sometimes you need a little mom and dad energy.
Yeah.
To tell the children, please stop.
Please stop. Just everybody relax. I know I fueled some of the speculation. I'm pulling back now. Just, I took off my tinfoil hat. We're just going to wait and be patient. When we need to know, we'll be told. All right. This from Christopher. So into some of the builders who is building with Erica, the Uno client, which I was using this morning. I'm trying to use different clients. I have, that habit that is just so ingrained. So I'm trying to move around, try different clients. I was on Quorum this morning and Uno for a little bit. And they've now launched an Uno mini app. So this is fun, launching Uno Mini. This is from Christopher. We have exciting social things planned within just the mini app. And some folks don't ride with Apple iOS. Connect with Uno, turn on notifications so you can experience our first products as we release them. So this is interesting. I don't know what's coming. So cool. Very excited. This is going to be fun. All right. Moving on. This from P. Fista, who had jumped into the Uno mini app, reminds me of early Farcaster days. I opened the mini app and saw all the people I know and consider friends. So there you go. I think that's the big thing, because the other thing we've heard a lot of chatter about, and we'll talk more about that when we get to the base announcement, is the trading focus, that there's a lot of folks who've been here for a while who are looking for the more social focus rather than trading focus. Highly recommend that you try some of these alternative clients who have a different perspective. And even if you're a trader and that's your focus and that is where you want to be, some of these other clients just have a different perspective on that, like Zapper. Zapper's a great client. Like, really go check it out because it's actually very good. If you like NFTs, it has a great NFT feed as well. So definitely check that one out. Sofa, if you want deeper dive, if you want curated content and you want a little bit more cerebral experience, definitely check out Sofa, SOPHA. So there's lots of options right now. So if you're whining about you don't like your feed, that's now a you problem. So
oh, mama's had enough.
Mama's had enough. Seriously, like there's so many options and a lot of them they're really good. So a lot of them are in beta. They have some, quirks or whatever, but some of them are actually just incredibly well developed already and they're, very slick. So go check out the other options if you don't like what you're seeing. And you bring your social feed with you. You don't have to start from zero. You're starting from, that's the beauty of the Farcaster protocol. Sufficiently decentralized protocols is that you're taking your social graph with you. So you're not starting from zero. So please go check out the other things. They're pretty cool. All right. And this from Trizame. If Farcaster is becoming a wallet trading app, then make Farcaster great again. Bring back the trending tab, bring back the price alerts. We need discovery, context, and signals, not trading in the dark. And honestly, I just saw trending feed and immediately grabbed this cast. So that's all I saw. I just was completely blinded by the words trending feed, trending tab. So that's one of the things that Sofa has, by the way. So I'd actually let her know, or them know. I'm saying her because of the PFP, but it could be a dude. Let them know that Sofa has a trending tab, and I've been using that as we pull links over the course of a couple days, and then I always like to go into the trending tabs, what I used to do, and just make sure I didn't miss anything. And now I've been doing that on Sofa, and I've absolutely found 3 or 4 things that I had not seen on my feed just because of the way the algo works that were getting a lot of attention and that were worthwhile. So another reason to go use Sofa. There you go. You don't have to be like me and use all of the clients, but try something new. The DGen client also, another social, funny enough, social facing client.
Yasik leaning into social and constantly reminding everyone that DGen app is social first.
Yeah.
Is my favorite part of the timeline. It's hilarious.
It's like the world is upside down. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Like the most, whatever the most ironic outcome is the likely outcome.
Yeah, exactly. All right. And this from Jonathan Colton. He's been doing these posts with stats, and I really appreciate this. So check this out. This is the Farcaster protocol growth. So current metrics of the users, the period of growth, and everything's up. So this is a cohort progress, December 17th to present. So what this is measuring in that cohort is folks that are coming in through the base app. And there's plus 639,473, which is over the course of less than a month that they have added accounts, which means a lot of that is spam, unfortunately. So that's what we're seeing. We're seeing, I think the initial bunch of like 400,000 was more people than bots, but now I think that probably tide has turned. So you'll probably start to see some of those cull a little bit, but really interesting, very interesting to see where we're at the protocol level. And then this is from Farhan, who is looking at the client level. So it's worth analyzing Farcaster statistics from time to time. The network has been in a downtrend since it pivoted into social wallet and the growth strategy based on financial incentives alone, which isn't exactly true because we just saw the protocol stats. So I think this is more referring to the client itself, the Farcaster client, not the protocol. If you look at the most engaging accounts, many of them are low quality spam accounts or outright bots, something easy to experience when interacting with the platform tool. The platform appears to have entered into an enshittification process. I don't know about that, but okay. Much like other social networks, in this case, it's driven by the naive belief that human behavior can be effectively engineered through financial incentives alone. It now seems close to a phase of decline in which the marginal value of joining Farcaster collapses faster than new meaning can be created inside. And these trends are dangerous as they grow exponentially. Is Farcaster dead? Not in general, but as a social network, it's nearing a critical point. The clock is ticking. Is this the end? No, a resurgence is still possible. The team retains capital and human talent, and a meaningful pivot could still happen through community talent and trust in the project are currently low, must be regained. So here's how I kind of look at these numbers. Things are weird again because of this. Going back over here, you're getting like some weird accounts that's throwing some people off. You're also hearing that Farcaster's dead, so people aren't necessarily, jumping on. So there's a lot of reasons. Plus, also, hello, it was the holidays and everything was like dead quiet. So, but we can see there's been trends. We feel it. We know people who haven't casted in forever, who used to be here on a daily basis. So there's a lot of that as well. There's some specific people who've announced their exit. It's not an airport, but we've had a little bit of that. So I think some of this rings true, and some of it might just be a little bit, I don't know, a little more doom and gloom than I think is necessary. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and I just don't think it's fair to say we're in an enshittification era, because enshittification really has to happen once you've gotten to scaling, reached product market fit,
True.
and actually, so I think it's still Farcaster hadn't found product market fit
Yeah.
in the way Silicon Valley canon defines product market fit.
Good point.
If you want to call the market me and you and 37 of our friends, I think we found it. But it's not what they were trying to
37 of
do.
us are very happy with the PMF.
Yes, the market of 37 of us found a product that fit, we would pay for. I mean, they've released Farcaster Pro within minutes. I gave them $120. Anyway, so, but.
And I think it's also, a lot of this is driven by when you have really good builders building cool things that people want to use, they come back day after day. So you have moments where there's a new mini app that kind of takes off and everyone's diving on it. And then you see that activity happening. Those, it waxes and wanes. The excitement fades. It's attention. We're in an attention economy that is not always easy, to maintain. It's really hard. So people have so many different social platforms that they're on that they can only, you only have so many hours in a day. And, you shouldn't be spending 24/7 on social platforms like us. So, there you go. It's probably not healthy. At some point, I'll figure that out. I actually started using the screen timer. Not for Farcaster, because that would just make me insane. It's not even worth it. But for my other things, for TikTok, for Instagram, and I don't go on those that often, but I've had moments where I just want to, scroll. And Twitter. So Twitter can be my time suck if I get sucked into something. So I've started setting a 30-minute timer on Twitter for the 24-hour period, and then 15 minutes on the others. So
did you put a hard limit, or you're just, is it a
it pops up? No,
it pops up.
You can override it, but I've been pretty good. I've had a couple times with Twitter where I'm like, oh crap, there's something I need to go look at now. And it's mostly I'm thinking about, something work related or something, but I'm trying to just limit my doom scrolling, really. So at least that limit, if I hit it, I can be like, okay, I only go back if it's necessary, not just for, screwing around. So anyway.
Sounds healthy.
I'm trying to make some healthy changes. All right, and this from Moon Poppy. No one asked, but I've always considered Farcaster to give me early Facebook vibes. Agree. I don't know if it would affect the feed, if at all, but I think it would. I wouldn't mind if you could only see or post reply to my content if we are mutuals with a little switch in case I want to raw dog it in the with the reply bots. So this is the other part of this, and this was a response to Brenner, who was is one of the OG 37. I posted on Farcaster yesterday, the first time in months. I got 15 bot replies and 0 real replies, and I didn't see him post. And this made me realize that I don't know if, at least he didn't get picked up in the so-and-so has casted for the first time in a while. I don't know if something is broken with that, or if they turned it off for some reason or what. But I didn't get that notification, and nobody did. But then he started getting real replies once he casted this. So there you go. And I think that's the other problem. And going back to enshittification, that part has been challenging, is that because of all these new accounts coming through Base App who are trying to farm the hypothetical base token, and thinking that's what's going to do it, they're showing up in your replies. So you've got a lot of bots, and it's annoying. So that's going to keep people away who are legit people, because they don't want to deal with that crap. Yeah. They don't want to see that cat. That cat's annoying. Get rid of him. All right, moving on. This from V. This was really interesting, and I highly recommend giving it a read. I still haven't finished it. It is very long. I got about halfway through, and I'm like, okay, I'll circle back to this. But this Varun had posted this. Steve Yegi, is it Yegi or Yeg? I don't know. I don't know who he is, but people seem to know him. Taking a detour from building AI orchestrators to cash out his creator coins and then write a long post about it was not on my bingo card for January 2026. I still don't think creator coins in their current iteration make sense for all the stated reasons, but this might be the strongest counter signal yet. And it was a very interesting, for that point, I would recommend going to look at it, because it did change my thinking a little bit here and there, because it was interesting. So what happened was, there's a Solana token launch platform called Bags. And on there, and now I guess on Pump too, maybe you can, even Clanker, you can do this. You can send rewards to somebody else. So somebody had set this up. The reward, they set up something in his name, I think called Gas, and I think his product is Gastown. I don't know who this is, so I'm just going by what I read. And they had set the rewards to go to him, the fees, and he had like 49,000 sitting there. And so somebody sent him a message, and he's like, I'm assuming this is a scam, because why? And they kind of put it like, hey, you've got these fees here. They are sitting here. Here's about where it is. And some of it's in the token and some of it's in Solana, I'm assuming. He's like, you're going to have to set up a wallet and add a little bit of Solana so that you can claim. And he's like, that does sound like a scam, right?
That
like,
sounds like
we just need a little bit of something and you get this big thing, right? And I'm like, wow, that does sound like a scam if you don't know. And then he goes down this really, and he's a really good writer as well. Like, it's just really well written. It's very entertaining. But this is the part that I thought was funny. He goes to his bank to get this set up. Like, you went to a bank? Like, what? I'm like, wait, what? Why did you go to a bank? And it's just really interesting. But he just really needed somebody to help him, because literally they could have said, hey, go set up a wallet. I'll send you like a couple bucks worth of Solana, and he would have been all set, at least on that part. Yeah. And then he could have figured out the off-ramping after. But he went down this whole rabbit hole of even getting a wallet set up and getting funds into like this wallet. And it was really amusing. But after he went through it, he's like, no, this was legit. And it's like, I was really surprised. So now I'm letting this roll. And he kept throughout the post as well. And this was on Medium, I think, saying like, I'm also earning from this. I know this is going to pump my bag. So just letting you know. It's really
Good transparency. All right, so you recommend reading this? Sound like a good weekend read?
Yes. If you've been like, paying attention to the creator coin meta and all the discussion around that. And I think this is a great read to just get the perspective of somebody in tech who's outside of crypto and their experience with this. And, but he kind of comes back to a point of like, this is kind of cool. This isn't a bad thing, so he was, but it was like, it also helped you kind of look and go, oh, okay, I see where we need to fix some of this process as well. But it was really interesting. So go check it out. I think it was great. And recommend it. It was and it's also just very well written. So it's an enjoyable read. Moving on to Twitter news, because Nikita has become the main character of our lives. I don't know how that happened, but here we are on a show about Farcaster where apparently we talk about Twitter now. So this happened the other day. And let me just pull this up a little bigger. We are revised. This is from Nikita Beer over on Twitter, who's the Twitter head of product. I don't know what his exact title is. Head of product. We are revising our developer API policies. We will no longer allow apps that reward users for posting on X, aka InfoFi. We're going to talk about that in a minute. This has led to a tremendous amount of AI slop, reply spam on the platform. We have revoked API access from these apps, so your X experience should start improving soon once the bots realize they're not getting paid anymore. If your developer account was terminated, please reach out. This part made me really laugh. Please reach out and we will assist in transitioning your business to Threads and Blue Sky. Please, I kind of love that he's like, also, let's go kill our competitors with these bots. We'd love to help you with that. We'll help you get it set up. I just thought that was really funny. And then what happened was this. So there is, and this is why I'm wearing this. There's that. There was a whole platform called Cato, which we didn't really talk about much over here because it didn't apply on Farcaster, but it was a way to get paid for yapping on Twitter. So of course, show me the incentive, I'll show you the outcome, and here's the outcome. So this is I think it's the Cato token or the app token or whatever it is. It's their related token. And what happened after Nikita turned off their access is this. And there's a couple others too. I forget what they're called. I forget their names, but oh, there's one of them. So they all like disappeared like immediately upon this announcement. Everything crashed in terms of the token prices that were attached to this, and or they just went offline completely. So if you had any funds over there in Cato or whatever those related coins are, you might want to try and pull them quick, or at least investigate what's happening. It probably is too late to get anything meaningful now, but you should go check that out. So this was interesting. So Nikki Sapp had commented, Nikita kills InfoFi, sending multiple projects to the heap. On one hand, it's probably a net positive for humanity that this meta is dying. Agree. The slop was unbearable. On the other hand, it shows how quickly entire verticals can be destroyed by a single centralized counterparty. And this from Sahil from Curate and OpenRank, not Sahil, the one we don't like. This is the good Sahil. The good Sahil had this to say: this was the reason I decided to build here versus Twitter. Sadly, the value prop of an open social graph becomes obvious only when the platform risk plays out. Silver lining is less performance and farming slop on Twitter. And then this from Kenny: extremely tough day for everyone on Twitter who was quoting Vitalik and telling him that decentralization doesn't matter anymore. So there was a couple, things that came out of this. And then this from Chaskin. Side note, InfoFi was coined by Vitalik.eth from prediction markets to info finance. Something he had written on his blog. But the term got co-opted in a way that looks nothing like what V described, using finance to align incentives around delivering valuable information is still underexplored. So prediction markets are InfoFi. What X killed is SlopFi or ScamFi. I saw that term as well. So it wasn't about that. And then this from Dan, who was upset. His own comment, leading white space trim fail. But I thought that was funny as well. He's feeling for him. And this I thought was an interesting comment down below. The gold is really in the replies. 0x Casso said, ask him to ask Elon to get acquired, bro. Trust me. And DWR's answer was, LOL, no. And that's literally been the only comment regarding acquisition that we have had from Dan Romero.
I missed that comment. That's so funny. Literally, it sounds like Farcaster sometimes just feels like just a weird extended family, and everyone's a child, and Dan is the dad. Why am I?
LOL. No.
Hey, Dad, can you ask him and Elon's the uncle or something? It just
was ask Nikita to ask Elon.
Elon to acquire you. Trust me, bro. LOL. No.
I just thought that was hilarious.
Samantha also had a great reply to that cast. I mean, Dan is very good when he leans into memes. I like Memetic Dan.
I do like Memetic Dan also.
And he's he's doing a manifestation candle for Nikita, but Nikki Sapp said the candle wasn't necessary for this particular incantation, and Samantha said, yes, it is. And if you don't know who Samantha is, she is Farcaster's candle person.
She's the candle woman. She has Humankind candles, amazing candles. Go check them out. So that was really funny. And Nikita's been going through it, and it's mostly our fault. It's mostly crypto Twitter's fault. But it's been interesting to watch it play out, because you've got this one thing of yes, we should get rid of the slop. Nobody wants that. Nobody's like, yes, please give me more bot repliers. Please give me more cats saying meow to every single thing I cast. No, nobody wants that. But also if you're building something legit and you're building it on their APIs, this is another reminder that can be pulled at any time. So there you go.
Also think about what you're building. And generally, if you're building something that benefits humanity that someone wants to pay for, you'll find a way to do that. And if you're building something that is net extractive, maybe don't do it. Please stop. Please stop building stop farms.
As we mentioned, take Rich's advice and please stop.
Please stop. I found this is a really interesting conversation, because it is one of those cases. It's kind of like the free speech conversation, right? When you ban speech of someone who is, everyone can agree this person has bad speech. It's like, yeah, sure, we shouldn't do that. Does that mean you should ban speech? Probably not. Right. So it's kind of like the free speech defenders. You need to defend all speech, all free speech. So my stance on this is I don't want bots replying to me, but I don't like the idea that any one person, can ban your ability to build. By the way, Twitter's allowed to do whatever they want, private company. I don't care, but this is why I like the Farcaster approach. So
100%.
I mean, imagine if there were multiple clients on Farcaster, they could keep taking these slop farms money, and then they can just censor it at the client level. And then it's a win-win. Twitter gets money and users don't have to see that. Right. And by the way, and if it doesn't work out that the slop farms realize they're not getting any reach, maybe they'll stop doing it. So otherwise, it's just kind of a whack-a-mole. And
I think with something like Cato, where they're farming what they call the apps. So the more you talk, the more you earn to this token, the token gets attention. So that was the, sort of idea there. With something like what we're seeing now on Farcaster and Base App with the replies, what's happening there is a whole bunch of like just the thinking there is, oh, I'm farming this future hypothetical base token. So that's harder to message that this isn't going to work because we don't know if that is even coming, when that is coming. So this could, be a whack-a-mole problem for a while. But they need to figure out a little more systematic way to label them, or you know what I mean, like to be able to make sure they have that 0 spam label or whatever, some way to cull it at the sign up level, you know what I mean, to just make sure it's not pushing other legit people off the platform because they don't want to see that. So that's the risk there. But yeah, you're right, you can have them sign up at the protocol level if they're paying and then just call them at the client level, which is definitely a better approach. And I, have been blocking liberally.
Farcaster. Have you been checking? Like my follower counts already on Farcaster are very different than on Base App, so you can see they're categorizing users different. And then also my protocol followers.
Through the roof.
Yes.
Yeah, give me the raw numbers. The raw numbers are beautiful.
Want to hear a funny story?
They're not true,
related to follower counts.
Sure.
I was having an argument with my husband about, so I'm writing a children's book. Shout out afriendtoall.com. Is that a friend to all book? Afriendtoallbook.com. It's coming out this year. Anyway, it's been this like side project I've been working. My sister is illustrating it. It has been a labor of love. She is hand painting every single page. It's taking forever. I don't know why it's taking this long. But she and I were talking this weekend. We were talking about how many books we expect to sell. And I'm like, and I said, I bet I can sell 100 copies. And my husband thinks we're not going to sell 100. And I'm like, I think I can sell 100.
Oh, well, that just sealed it.
Just with Farcaster friends alone. I'm like, like friends and family will buy, I sell, 30 copies. I'm like, I think I can get Farcaster friends. And so then I was telling him, I flexed to tell him how many followers I had. And I used the protocol follower count just for the argument. It was so funny. He's like, I thought you said you had 60,000. I'm like, no, those are real followers. But for this argument, I need to make myself look better. So it's good to have different numbers.
We need a prediction market on the number. I agree. I agree. Yes to crypto. Prediction market on the number. Little bet with your husband.
And I don't know if you pulled this. Limes and by the way, it's not Limes anymore. Limes.eth is now Dylan B. Don't do this. Stop changing your names.
Yeah, don't do that.
Did you pull want to bet? We can talk about it next week if not.
Yes. Okay. No, I've got it. Yeah. Yeah. So things like that. I think this is a perfect use case for that. But literally all you'll have to do, this is why I went, oh, that's going to be easy, because all you're going to have to do is cast, my husband thinks I can't sell 100 of these.
I love you guys.
Go. There's going to be an army of people who are like, oh, well,
yeah, F him.
Fuck that guy.
Let's show him.
Yeah, exactly. That was my immediate thought. Was like, oh yeah, watch this.
This is what Farcaster. This crypto space. People are so sick. All you people just have to prove have this weird DNA that you just gotta prove people wrong at all times.
I know. That was my immediate thought. Okay, let's watch it. All right. So here's the big base news for this week that we haven't we talked about it, generally speaking. We didn't have an official statement. We now have an official statement. So this from Jesse, TLDR, we are focusing the base app to be trading first to drive demand and distribution for a full range of assets and to be the best app for whatever you do on the on-chain economy. Let me move this out. Hold on so you can see the whole thing. All right. I am going to read this whole thing so that we have it in the audio for folks who aren't watching the video and can't pause and watch it. So since announcing the base app in July, hundreds of thousands of you have used the app to create, trade, save, spend, and build. Seeing the adoption has been incredible. We've also heard clear feedback about what's landing and isn't. 3 themes stand out. 1, the app felt overly focused on social. That's not No, that's incorrect, but okay. It came across as
Hold your commentary, Prof.
I'm not going to be able to. Okay. It came across as too close to Web 2 and didn't show support for the full breadth of assets that people want to trade. Everyone wants more high quality assets. In general, there is a desire to engage with and trade high quality assets. This is the most important opportunity as we bring capital markets on chain. And 3, the feed needs to surface everything. Having a feed of what's happening on chain is a good idea, but it needs to surface apps, stocks, predictions, social tokens, and more. In a world where everything is tokenized and tradable, the single most valuable thing we can do is drive demand and distribution to everyone. That's exactly what the Base app is going to do. We're going to make the Base app the best place to trade and use every asset. Concretely, this means we're going to build for trading first. Having trading as our primary focus will help us bring demand and capital for all rapidly growing asset classes in the economy. 2, we're going to bring more high quality assets on chain. To best serve the trading use case, we're going to make a broader range of assets available. 3, we're going to lean into a finance first UX. We believe it makes more sense to layer social features on top of finance than the other way around. This means we'll continue to experiment with features like copy trading, feed trading, and leaderboards. This is going to be hugely additive to the Base economy because it's going to drive more capital and users to every asset and app. Base app will be the best self-custodial wallet to trade and use every asset, globally accessible with fast, simple onboarding for everyone, everywhere. Base chain will continue to be the best chain to build anything, now supercharged with even more distribution. We're building this together in the open, and seeing how people use the app keeps teaching us what matters most. Thank you for the continued feedback. So I just take issue with this first thing. The app felt overly focused on social. Like, no, it felt overly focused on creator coins. That is a different thing. And yeah. That's what I take issue with in that statement. I don't believe that's the correct framing. Because that was the biggest issue that people had flat out was the very forward push of creator coins, and that being like the most important thing, the end all be all of the Base app.
I mean,
and
I think it's possible though, if you were doing the upgrade path from the former Coinbase wallet to the new to the Base app, I think it's possible that was too much of a social, like, whoa, like to go from wallet to a feed may feel overly social. So I can maybe give them, maybe that's what he meant.
Well, but that's your first, when you first log in, that's the first thing you see. Yeah, it could have been maybe flipped a little bit so that it's a little different. Essentially, they should have built Zapper, is in my opinion. Like,
but Zapper's already built.
Don't
need to.
But that's what I'm like.
Yeah.
I mean, like that direction would have been a better fit for their existing wallet. So I get what he's saying. I just don't think he said it. I don't think it was the exact way in which that was all going down. You know what I mean? It wasn't about social first. It was about creator coin and social, that push first, like having that be the priority, which we said from day one was a bad idea. On the other hand, so yesterday, we had done a session on Wednesday for CreatorFi with Rachel W. She has a cohort of folks who are learning how to bring their creator focus on chain or improve what they're doing. 3-day little intensive workshop, and we were able to jump in and do a session there. And then we were doing a little giveaway, and Rachel wanted us to go through and judge some videos. So those videos were on Zora. So I hadn't used Zora in a little while, and it's really actually very nice. I mean, in terms of what it is, they have a lot of cool features. So this is more of like, shout out W. Benz and Jacob. I mean, in terms of like the way that app is developing and its look and feel, it is very nice. Whether or not you think, creator coins are going to be the end all be all, I do not. in terms of what they have built, it is a really well-designed app. So I liked that, just that double click, you get a nice little, hey, you just bought this, or, this little flash pop up. It was kind of cool. So it was, so I think that is still a worthy experiment, and then tie that back to that post that V shared. When you put those two things together, you can kind of see there's a possibility there. It just can't be, it's not going to be today, and it can't, the push of putting it into the base app and just never made a whole lot of sense. It made sense for Zora. It never really made sense to me for base, for that to be the primary focus. So I'm glad to see the shift, because there's a lot of builders out there who felt left behind. Pods is a great example of that. Like, he was creating, those were literal content coins. Like literally, they just were in NFT form, and he did not get the support that he felt they should. When that was the push they were doing, it felt very one-sided. So I think this is a good reset. I don't know what it means, in terms of what it will look like on the other side. But based on all the other things that were announced at Coinbase system update, I think that was, it makes sense. The other thing that I've always had a problem with, and I will continue to call this out, is they should have made the base app the place to get the news first about anything that's going on in base. And they keep putting it on Twitter. Not saying you don't put it on Twitter, but you make the alpha, like make the base app the place where you get the
to have notifications on in the base app
for
your account. Yeah.
Like this is going to be the place where you're going to hear from us for easy. Like that's so
low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Just do that.
It just boggles my mind. Like if Brian is posting something, especially Brian, especially Jesse, like the big accounts, if you're posting something, the first place you should be posting is the base app. Wait a couple hours, then post it over on Twitter to get the larger reach. But or post a link from the base app to Twitter. You want to read this? Go over there. Like they didn't do any of that, and that does not make sense to me as to why. Like it made it just still to this day. Like you ran Basecamp and you put the schedule on Twitter. Like what? I wasn't even on the base app. That still boggles my mind. So anyway, a little free advice for the base team. There you go. That you didn't ask for and you didn't want, but you got it anyway.
And not the first time you're hearing it. So
not the first time you're hearing it. I've been saying it since day one, but I'm still going to say it. All right. Rant over. Moving on. So I'm excited to kind of see how they adjust. I have to say they're still it's an incredible team. They have incredible developers, engineers, like just amazing crew over there. So if anyone can do it, it is them to make this little pivot. Moving on. Okay. Oh, the other thing that I keep seeing through all these discussions, the discussion about base, the discussion about Farcaster, is that SocialFi is dead. And you people are absolutely insane every time you say that. And here's why. And here's exactly why. Today I learned Pump Fun has a mobile app with social features. Well, of course it does, including a dedicated feed for their live streams, basically all the copy trading features you'd expect, and now a feature to broadcast calls to followers. And this is why it's just beginning. Like you're going to see it in Robinhood. You're going to see it in you're going to see it on, Twitter is integrating cash tags, and they're going to have a wallet at some point. So everyone's thinking about this backwards, in my opinion. It's that are we just too early? That's always a problem. Yahoo suffered from that. I mean, even big ones from way back. Sometimes you're too early and somebody comes in and does it a little bit better or differently or captures more attention, but the concept and the idea is not wrong. Especially when you think about things like prediction markets. That is a social type of experience, and it benefits from having a social graph. Period. Full stop. Stop being crazy. All right. Moving on. I'm going to move away from my rants for today. Maybe. We'll see. Actually, let me pause there while I get my links a little bit more organized again. Adrian, any other thoughts on that? I went a little ranty today. I'm sorry.
I
Apologize.
think I like ranty you.
Oh, wait till I add the Boston accent to it. All right.
I'll just add to a note to the base team. Kudos for you for listening to feedback, pivoting, building in public.
Yeah.
For all of us, there's like always two thoughts in our head, which is like, what would you do if you were Dan or Jesse or building or Seb or Christopher and Erica? Like, how would you make the app differently? And then there's the, okay, I'm a user on Farcaster. What do I want? And there's sometimes different things. And I don't know, like obviously I'm not a big fan of the direction of everything. Every app has to be trading first.
Right.
But I am a big fan of the idea that there can be multiple teams and clients solving different problems and a portable social graph. Because like I was thinking back to when you were bringing up Rachel's social, her creator cohort. Yeah. And what advice do you give creators today? I mean, there's so many platforms to choose from. We're seeing this with GM Farcaster where it's like, oh, well, all of a sudden we're starting to put clips on TikTok and YouTube, and we're trying to be more active on Twitter.
And we're streaming on like 5 different places.
On Dan and Retake and YouTube. Like, it's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
You got to do it, right? And I'm thinking about like, what advice do you, like, why would someone come to the base app when they have a huge following somewhere else? It's not even a huge following. They're just implanted somewhere. If you're already somewhere and you have your friends and you have like, why move somewhere else if you don't know it's going to be the thing? So I can't guarantee base app will be the thing either, but I do like this idea of making it safe to try something new, because you're not going like, yes, you're investing in the platform, but if you don't lose your social graph, if you can then say, okay, I don't really like the direction. Oh, Farcaster is now trading only. I don't really like that. Well, I can just very easily go use Uno and get a completely different experience. And it didn't feel like wasted effort because the relationships or network I've made on Farcaster carry over.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's really important for creators. Very important that if something shuts down, you can move over to something else. Or if you don't like the way this looks, this feed, this feels, you can move to something else that is a better fit.
And I already see it. Like we started using TikTok. Like I see people, I see Jesse and I see DeWoofy, and I'm seeing like there's people you start. I see like, so you start recognizing people, so you can kind of rebuild your graph if you want.
Yeah,
but
it takes way longer. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt. It's much easier to have that like
just be like built in
warm start. Yeah, instead of starting from zero. It's a big difference. All right. We've got a few more things to chat about with our builders who are building. They're still building. Keep calm, carry on, keep building. That's what I should have said, was keep calm and keep building. Well, I should have said, because there's so much, we've got opportunities to do some cool stuff now that is so much easier with things like Nanar App Studio and stuff like that. So keep building. But this from Perp, and this didn't come out until after our Haberdashery sponsored show, so we're putting it in today. Habs Farcaster engagement rewards powered by Quotient are now live. 350 million Habs have been allocated for rewards, plus an additional 15% fees collected by main Clanker pool paid in Habs. Reward periods will run every 2 weeks, and at current emissions rates without intervention is funded to run 71 cycles. Now that app is done, next focus will be passing a prop that diversifies a portion of our treasury holdings to Habs via TWAP sales. I hate saying TWAP. Working with our dev team now that we have practical hands-on experiences with hooks to expand our hooks to grow and strengthen the ecosystem. So this is the Uniswap v4 hooks is what they're talking about here. Past prop funding, first round of community grants to incentive builders to to choose to deploy and build in the HABS ecosystem. So look for this. This is going to be coming soon. There'll be a new proposal going up to DGen DAO. So if you are a holder of Haberdashery tokens or DGen DAO tokens, the OG ones, you will be able to vote on those proposals coming soon. But also, you may be getting some rewards for integrating with HABs, say TWAP. That also sounds weird, but yes, that's probably better than TWAP. That is better than TWAP. TWAP. I feel like that sounds like a hip hop artist name. Good hip hop artist name.
TWAP.
Yeah, TWAP and TI. So this is cool to see. Go check out Haberdashery in the DGen DAO channel if you want to learn more. So very cool. And we will be talking more about that on Wednesday, I am sure. This from our friends over at Bracky. So this was supposed to happen yesterday. It got pushed back. Attention Bracky Network. The pregame mining process for Sunday's 2 NFL divisional playoff markets will open shortly. I think it's opening at 10 a.m. Eastern this morning. I think. Below, I will invite anyone who is Bracky Pro as a continued acknowledgement of our shared alignment. Bracky Max users will not participate, but will have a more substantial reward tomorrow. So what's happening is with this, they're experimenting with something new with this, with Bracky for the NFL playoffs that are happening this weekend, where Bracky Max is getting a different kind of allocation, where they're getting an early allocation based on I think they pick one team or something like that. Bracky Pro is getting early access after that to be able to choose buy shares. So I got a notification yesterday from Bracky that I needed to open up a message on the base app with Bracky in order to participate in this. So I went and did that, and then it responded back, and then it told me 2 p.m., and then it came back and said, sorry, not 2 p.m. We have a little issue. So something wasn't working quite right, so they pivoted to this morning. So if you are Bracky Max or Bracky Pro, go check this out. And if you're not, soon after, you'll have a chance to also buy some shares in the NFL playoff games. Again, not financial advice, DYOR. Don't do this if you're a gambling addict. And that's all. Moving on. This from Debbie. Speaking of gambling, hi, Debbie.
Not a good transition.
It actually was a good transition because Debbie is, I think she's Bracky Max. Honestly, she's a big football fan. I think it's the Chargers. I think it's the Chargers who is her team, if I remember correctly. And also, like some poker and stuff like that. So anyway, this is from Debbie at Privy NYC. It's time to come home. Introducing Privy Home IRL, our first ever pop-up. 2 full days, bringing together builders, customers, and future teammates, shaping how value moves on chain. Learn more. So this is coming up next week, or in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. What to expect? Short talks from the Privy team, live demos from teams building on Privy, open office hours for questions, feedback, and conversation. TLDR, if you build with Privy, love Privy, or are curious about building or working here, this one's for you. NYC is our first stop, January 28th to 29th. Full agenda coming soon. Spaces are limited. RSVP to save your spot. And I would say if you are building anything that integrates Privy or you're in the New York area, you should definitely check this out. If I was in New York, I would definitely want to go. This from Daryl Yeo. Introducing the newly redesigned Wallet Beat. 24 plus independent reviews of software and hardware wallet brands in a compact table format for quick comparison. Color-coded pie chart, tooltips, hierarchical columns, and rows that collapse and expand to reveal details. Filters and sorts for variants, hardware models, attribute ratings, category stages, and more. Dynamically generated wallet report cards with detailed explanations of rating criteria, sources, and research methodologies. WalletBeat aims to define a community standard for wallets in the Ethereum ecosystem across several areas, including security, privacy, self-sovereignty, transparency, and support for ecosystems. And then he went on to say this, the walkaway test, which I thought was interesting. If the team stopped working on the wallet tomorrow and shut down its infrastructure, would users still be able to use it? Would its security or self-sovereignty features degrade? So this is also something that he's including in sort of this analysis. I thought this was cool. So if you, if you want to go compare your wallets, this is a great tool to do so. So thanks for that. This from, let me make sure. Yeah, I just want to make sure this is in the right order. This from you. This from you. Anyone want to help me with a personal writing project? All you need to do is a little word association. I give a word and you reply back with the first thought that comes to your mind. And if you're in our chat, I would like you to write the word. If Adrian says the word, what is the first word that comes to mind? And Adrian, what is that word?
Okay, the word is surrender.
All right, chat. So drop, I'm going to give you a second to drop what you think, what you immediately think of when she says surrender. And let's see.
And it was fascinating. The responses were fascinating. Also,
no, surrender is the word, Acquiesced. You can't say
so
surrender.
Come up with a different word.
That's the word. Now you have to give us a different word. Vulnerable claim. Damn it. I don't think that was the first word. Grace abounds. No. No. Okay. I found another one of my people. All right. So immediately,
and also shout out. Can I just say for an app that is a trading app and is very antisocial, an antisocial trading app. This has, by the way, the concept of surrender. It has nothing to do with what's going on at Farcaster, at work, anything. It was like purely something I'm doing on the side that is a random personal thing. Yeah. But because I had this thought in my mind about this word I want to write about, and I was like, what do people think of? I posted it. I walked away and like 5 minutes later, there were like 25 responses. So people still there. It's almost like humans are hardwired to be social and have conversations. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, almost.
It's very social. So thank you. I was just really appreciative of everyone who answered.
So my immediate response, like immediately, was never. And then I said, actually, no surrender is what started playing in my head. Literally, that started playing in my head by Bruce Springsteen. No retreat, baby, no surrender. But this was the funniest part, was that Symbiotech, Brett Draw Stuff, and Push all said never also, and they were all in a row in my feed. So it was like, oh, my people. Here are my people. Here they are.
That was, I like yours.
It was really funny. And then Jake said suffering, polite decline, victory, jump. I thought that was interesting. Victory, true. That's the other side. Defeat, Dido. That's kind of funny. Faith, surrender yourself to the universe, let go. Pirates from plants. So I'm concerned, plants. I'm concerned. Where are you running into pirates? Depth, step 1 AA, begrets, lost. This is not in my dictionary. This is all another one of my people. Give, sweet surrender. I like that one. Acceptance, subservience. It was interesting. Yeah. And I don't necessarily think like you never surrender, because that would be ridiculous. Like surrender can be a good term as well, but it was just the first thing I thought of, so there you go. But I thought that was interesting. And it is funny to see how many responses you got so quickly. Like,
and I also had a few people quote cast because they were like, oh, I want to play this game too, and throwing off other words.
Oh, cool.
So just long,
That's interesting. Yeah.
So social is dead, long live social.
Social is dead, long live social.
Remember conversational liquidity provider?
Yeah. Just be I do. I do remember that. Adrian doing a little conversation liquidity providing yesterday.
Remember that?
Yeah. And then this. So actually, let me go to this first to explain your cast.
Thank you.
This was from Dylan B. Introducing WannaBet, a P2P social betting mini app. And there's a few of these mini apps that have popped up that are similar, but this is, but not with like this really cute dog. So they got my attention. Uses Farcaster identity and social graph, smart contract escrow, no fees. Check it out. So you can set up a little bet, like just a very, low stakes, whatever. Create a bet, opponent accepts, judge settles it. I think that's interesting. So you pick a judge who will determine who won the bet. So you need to pick, but you get to pick them, which is kind of cool.
Right. And each person who takes the bet can decide whether or not they want to do it, and the judge ahead of time. So
yeah, that's cool.
Decide whether you think that judge can be bribed.
Yeah, exactly. So this was, and I think you were putting me in as the judge, which I thought that was funny. Anyone want to bet me Farcaster does not announce M&A activity in the next 7 days? I have no insider info. I just like using mini apps my friends make. And I was like, I'm not taking that bet, because I don't think we're going to know in 7 days was my reason for that. I was like, I don't think we'll hear anything. I think we're in somewhere into a 30 to 90 day window, honestly. And it could be, and depending on, first of all, we know nothing and nothing could be happening.
Could be nothing.
Could be absolutely nothing. But if something is happening, it generally takes a 30 to 90 day window for due diligence and that sort of thing. And to get it before anything public is even mentioned. So I wasn't taking that bet, but I do like the app. The app is kind of cool. So I will say that. So go check it out, try it out, come up with a fun little bet with a friend. If you need a judge, I'm around. All right. This from Burr. Me in 2026, I'm looking to do one productive thing every day. Linda in 2026, I'm looking to learn physics. We are not the same. And I was like, yeah, ditto. But so Linda had posted, I'm looking to hire a physics tutor to help me learn if anyone knows someone who might be a fit, experience with teaching. Context is I'm self-studying to learn, ideally the equivalent of a first year of university physics this year, could use help and accountability. Like, let me just clarify. She's doing this for fun.
Yeah. Learning is fun, Prof.
Not physics. Nobody does that for fun.
You're literally a professor.
I know. You should always be learning. I am a lifelong learner. I never stop. I love learning. It just never crosses my mind to go that way off the chart there. So, but I mean, I'm not as smart as Linda, so this is fine. So you got her set up with a tutor, which is cool.
I think so. We made a connection yesterday. I don't know if
she said no. She said she's going to start. Yeah, they're in the I think she posted a cast that she casted that
they did hook up. Okay, Linda.
And they're a great fit, and she was very thankful. Yeah,
I think we should all be more like Linda.
I 100% agree.
Google Doc.
I want to be Linda when I grow up.
Linda, and then when people freak out, I'll just be like, "Hey, I wrote about this a few years ago. Please check out my doc." And it just says be more like Linda. Linda, in terms, okay, let's do a love letter to Linda.
Okay.
She
welcome to the Linda Appreciation Hour. Hey, give me a smile. This will be a great shot. Go.
Linda is epitomizes building in public.
By the way, so Linda is, just to clarify, in case you don't know who we're talking about, at Linda on Farcaster, former Coinbase employee, former VC builder, built BountyBot, and now works with Farcaster. Okay,
yeah,
go.
But she really does kind of learn and build in public.
Yeah.
And she's really not afraid. She has no ego. So, which is the biggest superpower. So she's not afraid to be it's all the learning of doing new things. And she is one of the hardest workers I've ever seen. She's just, by the way, also don't work so hard, Linda, because I'm also worried about your sleep schedule.
A little bit.
Yeah. So make sure you balance. But anyway, I think when you live that way and you kind of put out the good, it really helps counteract so much of the negativity online.
Yeah.
And she inspired me this year because I was like, yeah, I've actually had this thought too. I mean, I'm a little bit further out of college than Linda.
Yeah.
But I've been thinking about, like, I took physics in college. I took university physics, and I took and advanced math, and my brain, it forgets. It
That's
forgets
okay.
things. And I was like, oh, maybe I kind of want to go back and do that. Like, almost like, and by the way, when you're in college, or at least for me, I have so many regrets now that I'm like, I wish I could go back and like learn so much more and
Hmm.
absorb so much more. I don't know how you feel that way, but
I don't. I actually feel like I loved all my educational experiences, and I don't feel like I didn't take advantage of them. I think I did.
okay.
So
I wish
I
I could
have no
go and
regrets
talk to
there. Yeah.
professors, like do
No.
more, but anyway. I but everything is free now. I mean, there's like
Yeah.
with the MOOCs, like it's like you can get university
Yep.
education for free without being there. So
Highly recommend that.
she
And
inspired
also
me. I
you
was
can
like,
use
oh,
ChatGPT if you want to do something just very small. Hey,
yeah.
you are a physics tutor, teach me this. It's going to be a little different experience. She was looking for a little bit more IRL, hands-on, really deep dive. But if you wanted to just do a little bit of something,
Hmm.
you could use Google Gemini. You could use, I mean, and really, you
Yeah.
know,
Just
you have to kind of go, do I trust this? But for that kind of stuff, I feel like that is
yeah, you
pretty
can learn.
straightforward. Yeah.
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 And I liked her. I tend to just do things on my own, but I like this approach of hiring a
Yeah.
tutor for the accountability and also having someone, by the way, from a coding perspective, while you can get everything with coding, on my journey back, it was so much more helpful having someone you could be like, is this right? Like to help
Yeah.
make sure you're kind of pointed in the right direction. And I don't know where she got that from, but I remember hearing Brian Armstrong
Yes.
talk on a
That's what I was
podcast
gonna say. Yeah.
um, about, I think he was
He
learning about
did
nuclear. And
I
he's like,
think
I
he
just
started
didn't
with
have
physics.
time.
He
Oh, is
started
it
with
physics?
physics,
He's like, I
and
don't
he
have
had a
time.
tutor
Like, it's
once
like
a
hired
week,
a
like, for 2
tutor.
hours. Yeah.
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 So,
And I thought that was amazing that at his level that he was still learning. And I love that made me really appreciate him more. By the way, I just have to I have to shout out this one funny thing. So Easy Crypto said, "Ooh, physics is dope AF." I didn't see that at first, and all I saw was this. Chemistry is also awesome, and I was like, "Thank you. Yeah, we think we have great chemistry." On screen.
me and you, our chemistry.
Yes, our chemistry is awesome. Yes, I agree. Somebody else had said that the other day. So that was my first thought. And then I was like, wait, what? And then I looked up and I saw the thing about physics.
We're talking about sciences.
I was thinking wrong chemistry. Yeah. I was like, why are we talking about the sciences all of a sudden?
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Yeah, vibe learning. Vibe learning. Vibe learning. Yep, that's it. Sounds accurate. Yep. So using your chat to do a little vibe learning, I think is a good way to call it. Oh, it was Trompix who said it. My buddy Beans calls it vibe learning. Yeah, I agree. That's a good one. And I completely agree with, lifelong learning, really important. It keeps you young. It keeps you going. It keeps your brain intact. Always be learning something new. And that's something I've done forever. So anyway, I'm the kind of person who'll watch I especially love like things like Gilded Age that are like set in like history at some point. But I literally be like, okay, pause. Who is this? I go immediately to like Wikipedia. I want to know who the real person is. Like anytime it's like, oh, there's now a real person in this. Like I will deep dive. I used to watch Mad Men religiously. Love Mad Men. But I would like deep dive into whatever that moment they were was on the screen. Like I would deep dive into the clothes, deep dive into like the events, all that kind of stuff. Cause I want to learn more. So like, I just do it in a very weirdly natural way that I don't even realize I'm doing it. So yeah.
It's called being curious and having did you watch Death by Lightning?
Yes. I loved that.
So good.
Loved it.
Yeah.
That's a great example. Yeah. If you haven't watched it, go watch it because I literally knew nothing about, and I was like, oh, wow, yeah, I don't know anything about this guy.
No one
about
knows. And
McKinley and his assassin. So President Garfield. Sorry, Garfield.
Yeah.
Wrong one. Garfield. So President Garfield and the guy who killed him. And it was fascinating. And it was just done, it's obviously a dramatic recreation. Like it's not a documentary, but that's exactly what I would do. Like, as I'm watching that, I'm like, then stopping, or after it was over, I'd go and like deep dive more into it. So I thought it was fantastic.
And it's starring Tom Wambach.
Yeah, it was so good.
From Succession. He was so good.
So good. It was so good. Like it was just really so well done, and it's so interesting. So love it.
Yes. Historical fiction is good too.
Yes. Love historical fiction. I love any of that.
Do some
it's
book
just
recommendations.
Yeah.
Drop your favorite.
I'm still in the middle of 1929. I just got through The Crash. I spent some time reading the past couple days. I just got through The Crash, so people are,
Do you read on a Kindle?
Windows. No, I'm reading an actual hard copy book this time.
Okay. Can I give you
My
for
mom's
anyone who's
big
reading
into the Kindle.
1929?
Yeah.
Reading on a Kindle. I think I don't. Maybe I already said this to you when we last talked about it, but I was reading it and really enjoying it, and I was like 40% of the way into the book, and I was like, "Wow, this is a long MFR book." And then I was on the and then I got to the epilogue, or like because the half the book is notes and footnotes, and so I didn't
realize that.
Here I am reading it. I'm like, wow. I'm like, this book is called 1929. I'm in 1933, and I'm only 40% of the way in. When does it end? It ends.
Okay. So I did skip ahead to the photos at one point because I'm like, I wanted to see all the people and like just get them in my head. I'm a very my brain works very visually, so I liked having some of the people's faces in my head. But it's a great book. So if you haven't, I would highly recommend that. It's all about 1929, the stock market crash, but it's written in a way that feels like historical fiction, honestly. It's written it feels like fiction, but it's not. But the way in which it's written is just very easy to digest. So highly recommend it. Go check it out. All right, moving on. We got a couple more things, just a couple. Actually, I need to shift gears. I just realized. We have two more things, but they require audio.
Why?
Two more things. Two more quick things.
Okay.
Hold on.
Apologies to everyone who is sticking around for the news, and we went on a complete detour about books and historical fiction.
We did. I just need to share by tab so I can get the sound on these two things very quickly. I
have no idea what you're closing with.
This. So hold on, I gotta stop. I just wanted to, I'm not going to show the whole thing, but I want to show a little bit of this. This is we do clips with Push, does our clips for our Clientcaster Spotlight. And this one, if you missed our chat with Toady Hawk the other day, this is a great way to get caught up with 3 minutes to learn everything about Betterment in 3 minutes. And this one is just hysterical. So I want to make sure I've got sound on. But I just I'll play just a little bit of it and then you can circle back. But there's a couple parts that are just absolutely stunning.
What's up, everybody? I went on ChatGPT and it told me to come in high energy.
So Toady, what is Betterment?
I didn't know that it was going to be formal. Just give me 1 second, okay?
A few moments later.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, we got to get my pink tie on. I just didn't know it was a formal Clanker Spotlight. Here we go. So Betterment is a mini app on Farcaster and the base app, and it's all about
so there's one other part that I really want you all to see if I can get there.
Paid for their creativity in an interest.
It
originally came from incubators like Blueprint, for example, who were taking in creators, teaching them how to use tokens and meme coins to get people to collect their content on Zora or other minting platforms. But if they don't know it's there, it's like if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around, they won't be incentivized to go and do the thing. So the idea for Betterment was like, what if you could create something fun that people would put into their calendar on these days at these times? I'm going to show up and I'm going to have some fun and I'm going to support a creator.
Your content is valuable.
We made an MVP.
That was all. I just wanted to show that part. Your content is valuable. It was so funny. So I loved that. And it's just, his clips are so good. You'll see them over on TikTok, on YouTube, everywhere on Farcaster. But go check it out. Go watch the full one because it's just really amusing. And then one last thing. I don't know if you saw this. Oops, not that. Hold on. I don't know if you saw this, but I just posted this morning because people kept sending it to me, and I'll explain why in a moment. But and I'm only going to show this for a second. But did you happen to see this from the Jimmy Fallon show?
Out at Amesbury, Amherst, Andover, Aquina, Arlington, Ashburnham, Ashby, Ashfield, Ashland, Athol, Attleboro, Auburn, Avon, Aya, Huntsville, Berry, Beckett, Bedford, Belchertown, Bellingham, Belmont, Berkeley, Berlin, Ernestson, Beverly, Billerica, Blackstone, Blandford, Bolton, Boston, Bourne, Boxborough, Boxford, Boylston, Braintree, Brewster, Bridgewater, Brimfield, Brockton, Brookfield, Brookline.
All right. I won't torture you all with that for too long.
Say torture again?
Tatcha? I won't touch you with it. So yeah, this was hilarious. It's literally the whole skit is just 3 guys from Boston saying every single city and town in Massachusetts. And it's hilarious. But there's one problem with that statement. Jimmy Fallon is not from Boston. He is a big Red Sox fan. He played somebody from Boston on SNL, but he's not from Boston. And I realized it so fully while watching this video because I'm like, oh, I can hear his accent just does not hit the way the other 2 does. And it's really funny. But there's a couple hilarious parts with Ben Affleck. Like he gets to Foxborough and he's like, what does he say? I forget what he says. Foxborough for your mother or something like that. It's just like something, just such a like Boston like stupid thing. And then he gets to Yarmouth. He's like, Yarmouth. When they get to the end. But it's hilarious. And there were some comments on the on this particular cast that I wanted to, oops, come on, go back. Why won't it go back? Hold on, there we go. That I had in here. And I wanted to say what I said, yeah, just a little love for my fellow massholes, by the way. Dan gave me a little like on this one. I thought he might. So my accent used to sound exactly like this, like very close. It's a little different because southeastern Massachusetts picks up a little bit of Providence, and Providence has a very different accent. Rhode Island folks have a little bit of tweak on that. So I can actually hear differences in Massachusetts accents. Like I can pick out, like I've been in Florida, heard somebody talking and go, are you from like near my area, like southeastern Matt? And they're like, yeah, I'm right from wherever. And it'd be like the next town over from where I grew up or something. So it's really kind of a weird thing, but we have like the amount of towns and cities in this place is insane. Like as you watch this go through, it's crazy. But there was a comment from Symbio. So I'm just going to say it. And this is Symbio's comment. Had it happened ya. So that's how I would say that. And you would have no idea what I just said. Had it happened ya. And Worcester. I gotta say I'll just throw a little Worcester out there. But that literally was my accent for a very long time. I went to college and I was like,
I don't know what you're saying.
I showed it to you on the screen. It was a had it happened ya. Had it happened ya. So when I went to college, I had multiple communication problems with my roommate. And then people kept asking me to say patty and ka and all these things. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I got rid of the accent. So it's like, it's an effort, but it comes sliding back in here and there. So if I would get a little drunk, I couldn't control it. If I got pissed off, if I got wicked pissed, it would be gone. And yeah, I was in like a Panhellenic meeting in college and I went off on something and like one of the other girls was like, I had no idea you were from Boston until right now.
What sorority were you in?
Phi Mu. Oh, I was a little Phi Mu. Anyway, I was president of Panhellenic. Of course I was.
I can see that.
And Greek Woman of the Year. Anyway, my grandmother was like, Greek Woman of the Year, you're Irish. It was the whole thing. Anyway, with that, if you want to laugh for today, go listen to Ben, Matt, and Jimmy say every single city and town in Massachusetts. It is pretty amusing. Or probably go bet on it with likes, because I have a feeling this is the TikTok that's going to take off today if you're playing around with that. And anything else, Adrian, before we call it here?
I think we should call it.
All right. And go watch Push's clip edit of Toady. It's pretty funny.
And recast it.
And recast it and share it with the world. And we will be back on Monday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Not 100% sure who our guest is going to be. Still working on getting that dialed in, but we'll announce it as soon as we know.
Oh.
And
we have a ridiculous guest
yes,
schedule next week, actually.
So who's on Wednesday and Friday, Adrian?
I know everyone is moving to traders, but we only want to talk to builders. Just kidding. If you're a trader, we'll talk to you too. But we like the builders. So we've got Cassie on Wednesday, and we're doing all of our shows at kind of the Pacific Coast friendly time of 11:30 Eastern, with interviews at noon Eastern. So Cassie's coming on Wednesday, and Rish from Nanar is coming on Friday. So very excited about that. And we'll get a clanker builder on for Monday.
And I have a couple, I'm trying to work out times and stuff like that with people. So hopefully in dates. We're trying to get Emily Jr. on to talk about our DRB, and he's not available on Monday. So we're trying to find another time for him. Cassie is still the GOAT. That was the other thing. Somebody had posted about nobody cares about decentralized, or no one has the will to really make something decentralized. And I immediately tagged Cassie has the will.
And the way.
The will and the way. So that'll be a big week next week. Very excited. Excited to have Rish on, which also gives me a deadline for my next mini app. So get ready, people. I'm working on something. It's going to be fun.
Nice.
And with that, Adrian, we bid you a happy Friday. Yes. Anything else?
Can I just say, by the way, there's also been a lot of requests to have DeWoofy on as a guest. I don't know if you've been seeing that chat, or tons of people have been asking. So,
see that chatter. But okay, let's get DeWoofy on as a guest. All right, we'll do a little
we'll see when we do that.
A vibe check revisit. I love it. All right, and with that, everybody, have a lovely weekend. Happy Friday, and we will see you on Monday. And until then, bye-bye. Thanks for joining us for this episode of GM Farcaster. And thank you to all our partners and HyperSub supporters bringing this episode to you. Follow the GM Farcaster channel for all the latest updates, and add our mini app on Farcaster and the base app. Until next time, bye-bye.